Wow, real zombies. And it's not even October. Why would zombies be here when it's not even October? Nothing about zombies should be around when it's not October. I wanted to make this video, okay? I know I could have waited those few months, but it was a very interesting video and it was really fun to research. So, you're getting a zombie video. You're welcome. Zombies. Everyone's favorite flesh-eating, brain-dead parasites. And surprisingly, I actually love these undead creatures. I love them enough to make a video about them before October. This video is going to be structured similarly to that of a Venn diagram, where it shows the similarities and difference between two things, shown by two circles intersecting. And what we're going to do in this video is look at any time a circle intersects with another circle. Basically seeing any time two pieces of media have the same pieces of lore. Understand? Again, for like the 5th time, I can't hear you, so I'm just gonna continue. Now, let's talk about zombies. Zombies actually originate as corpses brought back with voodoo magic. Wait, voodoo? I think I have a problem. Anyway, they weren't bloodthirsty like we imagine today. They would just do the bidding of whoever reanimated them. Zombies were viewed in this light until George A. Romero, the pioneer of the zombie. He took the book I Am Legend, which was about an apocalypse caused by the spreading of a disease which would turn humans into vampires. Today that seems so bizarre. But anyway, Romero used this book as inspiration. Except instead of using vampires, he decided to use a creature popular in his Castilian heritage, zombies. And ever since then, this is what we think of as a zombie. Now, let's take a look at the first time plot points overlap in this ginormous Venn diagram we have here. This is an important plot point in the story. It could be used to stop the outbreak, or at least prevent it from spreading. And there are 3 main common causes for the outbreak. One of them is not very common, another is not that common but is important, and the last one is incredibly common. Number 1. Aliens. The only 2 pieces of media I could think of using this is Army of the Dead, which has their outbreak spread from a breach in Area 51 security, causing alien spores to spread to humans. And also in The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead series starts after the apocalypse. It's a post-apocalyptic story after all, so it was never disclosed in the series itself, but it is believed to be from aliens, as talked about by military personnel in the series. Either way, it's not a very common thing as far as I am aware, and does not appear much outside of these properties. Number 2. From a falling satellite. This happens obviously in the Night of the Living Dead series, and also in Shaun of the Dead. Not much to say here, except that makes no sense. By definition, satellites cannot fall. They are not floating or like thrusted up by rockets. They're barely hitting the Earth's gravitational pull, so they keep missing and they're going around. They don't just fall. That's impossible. And the third cause of zombification seen in media, by the government and or a corporate company. This is super common. This is the case in Zombies, Resident Evil, PvZ, Left 4 Dead, and Return of the Living Dead. Okay, that's how the zombies started. But how did the outbreak spread? Oh, that's easy. The zombies eat your brains, and then you become a zombie. No. The zombies don't eat brains. Well, obviously they do, but they were never supposed to. Let me explain. After Night of the Living Dead, John Russo, the co-writer of the movie, and George A. Romero had a fallout over them not able to decide where to go with their new series. So Romero would continue with his vision, and Russo wrote a book. And that book got turned into a movie, and then... But still, even in the movie, zombification doesn't spread through the brain eating. The zombies just find brains yummy. Zombification is caused by inhaling a deadly gas. This movie is terrible, by the way. I just wanted to mention that. The brain bite causing zombification wasn't a thing until Plants vs. Zombies. And no, that is not a joke. And yes, I did research a mobile game about projectile plants shooting undead businessmen. And yes, it caused me a lot of emotional pain. And yes, we're gonna talk about it. Plants vs. Zombies doesn't really tell you a lot lore-wise. Or does it? I mean, we know a few things. The zombies were created by a company called Bloom and Doom Seed Co., which also created the plants. And all these zombies want to do is eat your brains. And when they do, you turn into a zombie. Now, what you may not realize immediately is that since the zombies eat your brains to make more zombies, then the zombies don't have brains. They're already eaten it. Wait, what? That goes against everything we've ever known about zombies. How do you kill them? You're supposed to destroy the brain. That's how all zombies have always been killed. Every piece of media in the past. Well, you don't kill them. You just tear off their limbs until they just can't walk. They were never shown dying. That's not even hitting the surface of the iceberg chart. The main villain of the story, Zomboss, clearly has a brain, meaning he is not a zombie. Also, Crazy Dave is secretly a villain. All the work he did helping you was just for a taco. The later game, he travels back in time and messes the entire time-space continuum up to steal a taco, not even to share. It just makes no sense. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. How did it spread? From a bite. This is literally in every zombie movie. It's just a common thing. The amount of time the bite takes to kick in varies. It could be from 10 seconds to multiple days. Both of those times come from Army of the Dead. Either way, if you've been bitten, you better get kicking. Wait. Different mutations. In zombie media, it's very common for there to be multiple types of zombies. These mutations are very common in Army of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead, Resident Evil, Left 4 Dead, World War Z, and Plants vs. Zombies. Also probably many, many more. Now let's just talk about these ones. Army of the Dead. They have a special type of zombie, the alpha zombie. They are stronger, faster, smarter, and other stuff. I don't really know. But these guys will kill you, and they know what they're doing too. They don't walk around slowly. They're like literal ninjas. Also, Return of the Living Dead. The zombies in this series are any corpses that are near the gas breach. This will reanimate anything, from fresh corpses, which are humanoid, to rotting corpses, which are these cursed figures, and even skeletons, which I've never seen skeletons walking around in zombie movies. So, good job, Return of the Dead. You did something that was okay, I guess. Plants vs. Zombies mutations are, well, a little underwhelming. They're just bigger or smaller or wear different clothes. And for all other pieces of zombie media with mutations, the mutations are just different variations of the disease. Not too interesting. Zombification curability. Nowhere in any piece of zombie media has there been an example of zombification being cured completely. Only limited. They would still have the taste for flesh. They just have to keep it out of reach. Examples of this are Shaun of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and Disney's Zombies. In the first two, they are very similar, which is why I want to put them into some detail. In the movie Day of the Dead, Dr. Logan discovers zombies don't eat flesh to feed. They do it as an instinct. And as shown in Dawn of the Dead, the movie that comes right before Day of the Dead in the series, it is discovered that the zombies are not violent unless they see people, which works in what we will soon learn in Day of the Dead. Then Dr. Logan discovers zombies can still keep some of their cognitive processes, like they can kinda read and stuff. Enter Bub, one of the best zombies in media because he's so lovable. He enjoys classical music, long walks on the beach, and feasting on your internal organs. Dr. Logan treated Bub like his own zombaby, until the others found out he was feeding him flesh of their dead peers. What we know is, Zombies can act the way they used to, but only when they don't have the urge to eat. So what is shown in Day of the Dead and Shaun of the Dead is exactly that. For Day, it's with Bubs, and with Shaun, it's with the lovable idiot Ed. And with zombies, it's because of a high-tech wristband that does techie stuff. What have we talked about with Plants vs. Zombies? You can't just make something up with a highly developed creature like zombies like that. So yeah, you can't cure zombification. It's never been possible. Hopefully never will be. Because if it was possible, then it would probably just have a bad story. Right, I gotta pick up speed. That reminds me, how did the government react? How did the government react? Most likely badly, but what did they do to try to stop it? For this one, you don't see a lot of overlap in media, so I'm just gonna talk about what the government does in all of them. Almost. Starting off with the Return of the Living Dead series. The government is actually the main focus of the series, besides of course the 2 tag-alongs that like to stay around sometimes, one of which always dies. But anyway, in this series it follows the military and them trying their best to control the Zeds with science. The Return of the Living Dead series. As far as I could tell, the government doesn't care about this. I couldn't find much. But they are trying to stop it, because I know there's a scene involving police officers. So yeah. Shaun of the Dead. The government does nothing. They don't care. But this is an example of an apocalypse that actually ends, without interference from the feds. Plants vs. Zombies. The government does nothing. As a matter of fact, the plants form their own government to try to stop the zombies. Army of the Dead. They want to nuke the zombies. The end. Or is it? Walking Dead. The government is gone. No more government. King Pig would be happy. But also, no help with the zombie apocalypse, so that's a downside, I guess. Resident Evil. You play as the government. You're put into a scary mansion, and uh-oh, SpaghettiOs, there are zombies in there. So you kill them. Yay! Left 4 Dead. You play as the survivors, so there isn't a government, except for Bill. He's kind of a part of the military. And last, and also least, zombies. They build a wall and trap the zombies in there so they can't interfere with the perfect city. Woo-hoo. Okay, now I gotta deal with this. Finally, I got them all. Now remember, zombies don't eat brains. Plants vs. Zombies caused me far too much pain, and thanks for watching.